What's going on, guys? Good morning. Just woke up, getting an early start here. I want to try to paint the cladding on the Avalanche today. Try to make it look nicer, more blacked out. My dad's truck is all painted up. It looks much nicer. His truck's in the road right now, but I'll bring it up. But yeah, I want to try to paint this thing, make it look nice. Just going to use spray paint cans of Krylon. But I'm waiting on parts for this thing, brake line kit, and I'm waiting on somebody in my house to wake up to help me put this trunk on. So I figure it's a good time get started doing some spray painting on the cladding. So I'll show you guys what the cladding looks like right now. Looks alright. It's not the worst, but there's some areas where it's clearly faded. You can tell up here. Down here, it's definitely faded, and it's a little bit dirty. Gotta clean it, but this right here is an area that I already painted, so this looks nice and blacked out, whereas that looks pretty gray. You can probably tell the difference. But yeah, once it's all blacked out with multiple coats, that's just one coat, so it should look much better. But I'm just gonna systematically work my way around here. I only have like 2 cans of actual Krylon Fusion, so I'll show you guys the cans that I'm gonna use. But I'm gonna go ahead and tape this thing up. I have actual car taping plastic, which is pretty nice. It's like 30 bucks for a giant roll on Amazon. It's kind of worth it, because you know, how else would you mask off a car? You know, you don't want to get overspray on it. If you just put newspaper, you're gonna get overspray on the car. So the best way to do it is definitely to use the correct masking. So I'm just gonna mask off the whole car basically and let it hang, and then just do the sections that I'm gonna do. So I think I'm gonna do the rear bumper today first. So I'll just tape it all off here, and then you actually clean with denatured alcohol. That's how you want to prep this area. So I'll probably wipe it all off first to get all the dirt and grime off of it, but then I'm going to wipe it down with denatured alcohol. Really good. Make sure you don't miss any spots. That should get rid of all the waxy and oily things in the plastic, because these sorts of plastic just are an oily type of plastic, so you know they can resist the adhesion of paint. Also, the other issue is, like, you put Armor All and plastic restorer and all sorts of stuff on the plastic, so that makes the paint not want to stick. So the way to get it to stick best is to use denatured alcohol. I know it's the best prep for Krylon Fusion. So hit it with that. Once that dries, hit it with some light coats and just keep going over it. Build up a good layer on there. Probably like 2 or 3 coats. You want to get full coverage. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and tape this thing off, show you guys a little bit of before and after of what this bumper looks like. I'm going to focus on the whole rear bumper, I think. Alright guys, so I got the whole thing all plastic and taped off. So I got my denatured alcohol right here with some shop towels. So I'm just folding it up into little squares like this. I'm going to soak it and then just work in like a just a systematic approach to it, you know, just make sure I cover every area, every corner. It's tough when it's still on the car. The other Avalanche I did, we had all the cladding off, but it's just a pain with the clips, and it's always rusted under there and you end up blowing holes in it, so just don't feel like it. So we're just gonna try it on the car and see how this works. But yeah, I'm gonna denatured alcohol the whole bumper all at once, and then we can start getting some paint on this thing. So you're honestly probably better off with like a more lint-free cloth. That did leave a little bit of lint, but I'm just gonna brush over it with another rag or something, and then I'm just gonna get started dusting this paint on, and we'll try to go pretty light on the first coat. We'll have to get full coverage, and second coat will go a little heavier. Probably only do 2 coats Gonna try to conserve paint. I only have 2 cans, but they're larger than average cans, so should be enough for this, but maybe not much more. We'll just have to see. So the first coat's on, and on camera it probably looks really good, but in person you can tell that there's some light areas that I missed. That's totally fine. First coat's supposed to be light. Don't even need to get full coverage, and we're looking really good. It definitely looks nice and dark, so I'm pretty pumped. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get my I have a little trigger mechanism for the spray can, because honestly spray painting stuff like this really makes my finger hurt. So one of those things I'll show you guys that helps out. But I'll show you the paint we're using here. This is star of the show, Krylon Fusion. The model just kind of got changed, or the can anyway. It used to look different, but I think this is the new stuff. Seems like it's working pretty good. It says it dries in 10 minutes, so pretty much ready to start recoating. So I'm gonna go find my trigger and give this thing a medium coat now over this nice light coat. So we'll see how the medium coat comes out, and maybe we'll need to do an additional coat. But I think I'm definitely going to run into the second can doing this rear section here. I'm almost through this can, maybe halfway through this can, so we'll definitely run into the other one. But yeah, I'm going to go get started. So I realized that I never actually filmed an outro to the painting the rear bumper on the Avalanche video, so I decided that I would just throw it in with this other video that I had of painting the grille and the front bumper and doing the headlights over and everything. So I'm just going to lump those two together, so if it seems a little bit choppy, sorry, but it's 2 videos, and I think they all fit together though, so hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of the video. But thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. More Honda stuff coming soon, don't worry. Talk a little bit about that in this next clip here. Thanks. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back. So in this video, I'm not going to be working on the Honda, but I do want to just show you guys what's going on. So I got a grill on the way for this thing, and I think the next bodywork section is probably going to be the grill and the front bumper and the whole front lip section. I'm going to try to get it to fit a little bit better there before I prime it. Obviously I got some stuff to fix, like these scuffs right here, and I want to make sure I Dremel out all these areas of the grill that I just roughly sawed out in the past, and I will just saw these areas out, and then I'll try to smooth it all. And I just want this to go straight in. I don't know if I'm going to smooth this lip or to leave this as an edge. I'll probably leave that as a separate edge to have another body line, kind of. But yeah, it should look pretty cool. I think I'm going to leave it open. As for here, I bought the nice Mugen style. It's like a mesh grill, which I don't know if I'm too crazy about the mesh. We'll see how it looks. But it has like the eyebrow things that come up over the headlight, so I'm super pumped about that. I think that's gonna look sweet. That's, you know, gonna come in from Malaysia once again, so that'll take a while. But after that, maybe I'll work on the hood or something. So we're definitely getting there with the body work. There's a lot of little stuff, handles, mirrors and stuff. I do want to do side skirts with the car. Let me know what you guys think for side skirts. If any of you have any ideas, definitely post them down in the comments or whatever, because I'd like to do a side skirt on it. I think I've decided. So yeah, everything else is coming along. Back end's looking really good still. I don't know if I showed you guys on camera what it looks like, but yeah, pretty sweet, pretty awesome. I'm really happy. But what this video is actually going to be about is me starting to work on this, because I don't want to disable the Honda, because I got some other stuff to work on. Mainly this Maxima here still needs some work, so that's going to get worked on pretty soon. Once I get that out of here, maybe I can do another round on the Honda. But today we're just going to do a quick thing on the Avalanche. I want to take the grill off, try to paint this chrome piece, because not only is the chrome all nasty and like faded and pitted, I just don't like chrome, so gonna get rid of the chrome. I don't know, maybe I'll paint the front bumper while I'm at it. All these headlights kind of have to be clear coated to get rid of the haze, but I don't know if I'm up to doing that today. So yeah, just grill's gonna come off. Gonna go ahead and scuff the whole thing down to start. Not sure what I'll use for grit, maybe like 220 or something. Scuff the whole thing down, and then I'll hit it with an adhesion promoter, and then after I do that, I'll hit it with probably some self-etching primer just to make sure, and then after that I can hit it with some paint, probably just some rattle can stuff. We'll see how good I can get it to come out just like that, and maybe we'll do the grill itself, the honeycomb section. But I also like to paint the little A-frame that's back there behind the what's, you know, right in front of the condenser. So I like to paint that little A-frame because you can see it through the grill and it kind of looks like crap. So might paint that while I have the grill off too. I'll take my light bar out, show you guys my sweet light bar install in there. So very rarely, I can tell you from experience, can you get these off without breaking them, but I think that this thing was hit in the front end and this was replaced since 03 obviously. And this guy actually came off fine. You got these two tabs on the inside of the grill that you just push inwards, but don't do this on a cold day because you will snap these tabs off. Even on a hot day you can snap these tabs off. They get super brittle because they just sit there, you know, the whole life of the car, and this plastic gets brittle. And these tabs are pretty thick, they don't have a lot of give to them, so when you push them, they tend to snap. And if they do, no big deal. You can still like 3M tape it back on, or you can try to plastic weld these, or just get a new bow tie, I guess. But if you're not trying to buy a new one, just be careful, or don't take it off at all, because these like to snap. So I've snapped plenty. I've actually snapped all of them, I think, but this is the first one I took off without snapping it, so I would say that's a success. But if you come over here, you can see that we have our grill, and it's looking pretty good. What I want to do first, I think, is just clean it up. We got a lot of bugs on here, and we got a bunch of grime in here. We don't want this to get spread out everywhere, so I'm going to clean it off really good. Probably just use like, you know, like Windex or something like that, and get all in these nooks and crannies with a rag and make sure I clean all the dirt and debris out of here. And then I'm going to come back with some tape and tape off all the painted areas, so when I'm sanding by hand I don't scuff anything. I'll do all these plastic areas too. It'd be nice to separate this, but I don't really want to go through that. I'll just tape it all off and should be good to go. Like I said, I think I'll also paint this stuff too, so have to hit that with adhesion promoter as well, just like I want to hit this. So just do it all in one shot, and we should be good to go. Alright, so I got this thing just about all cleaned off and taped off. Like I said, I'm going to paint the mesh too, so I left that untaped, painted or taped off all the painted parts. So I'm going to go ahead and take this 180 grit and just start going over the whole thing. Usually I have some hesitation to sanding, like paint and stuff, but no hesitation for this chrome. Don't like chrome, never have, never will. I'm going to get rid of all these like little nibs here, these little areas that are like raised. I'll see if I can flatten those out, and yeah, then we'll go ahead and hit this. I'll go ahead and clean it all off, some denatured alcohol. I want to get that all over the plastic too, but I'm going to sand this whole thing, make sure we got nice scuffs and scratches on everything, and then I'll go ahead and move on to the next step. Alright guys, so I've been sanding for quite a while. Got this thing pretty well sanded up. I wiped it off. Oh man, my dad's gonna blow that thing up. It's got like 300,000 miles. Anyway, yeah, we got this guy all sanded, so pretty good. It looks nice. I think this is gonna come out really good with all this stuff painted. So I took the wire brush and I wire brushed all this stuff just to sort of get the shine off of it and get rid of all the bugs that were in it. So now I'm going to try to just take some denatured alcohol. It's going to be pretty difficult, but I'm going to do my best to denature and clean all this off. But there's probably not too much like plastic oils on it, just because it's not something that you use like plastic restorer on or whatever. So should be okay. Oh, he's back. He must have forgot something. What a goon. But yeah, so gonna go ahead and get this thing all denatured, and then we'll go ahead and clean it up. Alright guys, so I got my head mount all hooked up. Hopefully you guys can't see this. I'm excited that I can do this hands-free now, so I can show you guys. I have my adhesion promoter somewhere sitting in here, and I'm gonna get my adhesion promoter, and I'm going to go ahead and give this thing a nice light coat. And I mainly want to do this for the chrome section here, just because it's going to make the self-etching primer stick better. It should stick okay. I have a pretty good mechanical scuff on it, but I just want to make sure this doesn't chip. So hitting it with a little bit of adhesion promoter I don't think will hurt it. Yeah, this has a little bit of dust in it. I may get like a tack rag, so I think I'm going to do that, and we'll be right back. Alright, so I got my tack rag here, and I'm just going to go over this really quick, just to get any last bits of dust off. And then I'm going to go ahead and get my adhesion promoter and hit this with a nice coat. You guys probably can't see the dust on it, but I can see all the dust that's left there from the rag that I used. And I just don't want to go and trap that in there and be painting over all that, because it'll be pretty nasty looking under our paint. Not that this is going to be a killer job, it's just a rattle can, but you know, I like to make it as nice as I possibly can, even when we're just half-assing something. Alright, let me go get my adhesion promoter. Mainly focused on the chrome spot. It's going to probably get everywhere else, but I just want to get the chrome with this. The other stuff's supposed to go over plastic just fine, so shouldn't have any problems with it, but just the chrome section I want to make sure is covered with this self-etching primer. I'm going to go ahead and start throwing the first coat on. We'll see what kind of finish we get. And I'm going to go over the whole grill now, all the honeycomb and everything. I want everything all blacked out, nice and gloss. So we'll see how this paint lays down. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how I'm putting on this second coat. It's much thicker, but it's going to come out much nicer. You'll see I'll just run out the strokes a little bit longer. You don't want to overdo it because you'll make it run and it will look terrible. But if you get just enough, you can get it pretty flat. That's why it makes it easier in the shade, because it doesn't dry as fast on you. Alright, so I'll give you guys a look at what this thing is looking like after being painted. I think it looks pretty sweet. That's really not bad for a rattle can. Like, I'm pretty stoked. Yeah, it's gonna look really nice on the car, honestly. It's super glossy. So this paint is nice. I wish they still made it, because I would paint all the plastic with it on this car, but yeah, this is gonna be sick. And I did do the bow tie like you saw, so that came out pretty good. Like I said, there's some stuff in it. I'll probably hit this with one more coat and it'll probably come out a little bit better. But yeah, that's what we're working with here. I think it looks pretty sweet. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull the light bar off and paint that A-frame behind the grill so you can't see that. Alright guys, so I would say, like, overall I'm probably about 80% satisfied with this job. It probably looks really good on camera, but in person it's a little bit orange peely and it's kind of got a little rough finish to it, but that's just, I guess, the nature of painting from a rattle can. On camera it's looking really glossy on the GoPro screen, so hopefully it looks good on camera, because, you know, that's all that really matters, right? But yeah, nothing ever looks quite like it does in person. But yeah, so hopefully you guys like the way it looks. I'm really stoked. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it on the car later. I decided that I want to do a little bit more work to the car and or to the truck, and do all the headlights and fog lights and marker lights. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to make those look new, and then the front end of this thing should look a lot better. The yeah, it looks pretty glossy, so relatively happy. I had a little mishap here trying to get the tape out of there. Still in there. I'm gonna wait till it dries and get it out later. But yeah, looks decent. Alright guys, so I just got back from doing a little fishing. Didn't really catch anything, but oh well. At least the Avalanche looked good while I was doing it. Honestly, I'm pretty stoked. I think it came out really nice. You know, stays with the black theme. It looks a little funky, I guess, maybe. Breaks it up though. I don't know. All in all, it looks good. Bumper came out really nice. Looks black, doesn't look stripy at all. And the A-frame I painted behind the grill is now nice and blacked out and hidden. All you're really seeing is that light bar through there, which kind of looks pretty cool. And yeah, all in all, looks really good. The headlights all buffed out, look pretty good. Still got to get rid of this glue stuff, but yeah, so far so good. This thing's coming together. Just simple stuff for this, just little paint stuff here and there, but yeah, I think it looks much better than it did. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this grill painting episode here and learned a thing or two about painting some chrome. But you can get a pretty nice result with a rattle can if you you know, if you're trying.